message on besides it wants me to withdraw, which I'd say, but I can't play it unless you get.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to mute here.
I wouldn't play it open.
Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case. Welcome to Orting Municipal Court. Please stand by and you will automatically be connected to a courtroom when the court is ready to hear your case.
Am I joining with computer or not? Am I joining with computer audio?
Yes, you're on audio. We can hear you.
Morning. I'm going to call the arraignment calendar. Please answer if your name is called. Jonathan Armstrong. Robert Arnstedt. Connor Lamb. David Roper. Brian Stewart. Good morning. And Jasmine Willie. So that looks like we have somebody from another calendar. And good morning, Mr. Minot.
Good morning.
So
Looks like we probably have time to go too early. And
come on.
Okay, just hand the clerk your forms and then come on.
Matt, I think you need to mute.
Yeah, I did. Oh, no, I am muted on my, oh, it is not. No, it isn't.
Go ahead and have a seat, sir. Right next to Mr. Resnick.
Have a seat.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you, have you gone through this form with this of the Statement of Defense Rights Arraignment? Did you understand the rights?
Yes.
Are there any you'd like to go over at this time? All right. You're charged by the city of Orting that on or about 5/23/2021 in Orting, Washington, you committed the crime of assault, 4th-degree domestic violence. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive probable cause established based on the probable cause statement. They're also charged on 1/9/2020 in Orting, Washington, with the crime of assault, 4th-degree domestic violence. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive probable cause established based on the probable cause statement. I see that Mr. Resnick has already been appointed on the first one. He's going to keep that appointment. I'm also going to appoint him on the second one. And so From there, Mr. Resnick.
Just 1 minute.
Turner, if I may, he's on an SOC in the first case. And that was here for review a while back. He was supposed to bring in proof that he's gotten the evaluations. We discussed the fact that he wanted to use medical marijuana. And Matt told him to talk to his counselors about that. And so he's supposed to provide on those proof of the chemical dependency evaluation, and I believe it was a DV or a mental health evaluation. And on the new case, the city would be seeking a no contact order.
And at this point, we'd have no objection to standard conditions of release with a PR.
I believe when you released him, you probably already did that, Your Honor.
I'd ask to set this out about 6 weeks because I think he's going to have to probably disclose to his treatment provider, and let them take a peek at least at a PC statement, see if there needs to be any adjustment to his current treatment plan. He is representing, though, notwithstanding this new violation, besides that, he's in compliance otherwise.
You have the other case? All right. Have her grab that. And so was there any information provided from the doctor?
Did you ever get a note on their letterhead saying you can smoke marijuana?
I haven't gotten to a medical referral yet.
No, not yet.
So the restriction will still remain regarding that. I will enter the no contact order. Is it I'm waiting for the file on the new one. Is the same victim, Madam Prosecutor?
Your Honor, it's not. It's a male roommate that he has. Apparently, he's changed living conditions because of the first case. So it's a Daniel J. Buell, B-U-H-L.
So it's another Buell. The first one is Daniel Buell.
Oh, is that?
Daniel
is that the-
was the one on the, and that's on the 2A one. I guess I haven't got the old one.
So
Okay.
my understand, so there's actually 3 cases in SOC and 2 new charges. Is that what the court said? I only see 1 on the calendar.
There's only the new charge and the SOC.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to see who the alleged victim is under the.
I believe the victim on the other one was, I know it was a different name. I believe it was a woman.
So we've already have it in the order or the domestic violence no contact order entered for the new case.
Yeah, I think when he was released from custody, you made that part of his bond conditions.
Now, let me look here. Yeah, the other one is Jacqueline Dover.
Right.
And so that one remains in effect.
Your Honor, the city's concern is that he was in here last time untreated, right, unevaluated, and then he picked up the new case. So I would ask for a tight enough date that he could get the evaluations done. But the city will be, if he's not on board and he's not getting those evaluations, the city will be asking for a revocation next time.
So Mr. Stewart, is it going to take me putting you in jail before you get something done? Because that's about where the point I'm at right now. I don't have any information from any professional whatsoever. I am still not going to allow the use of marijuana whatsoever at this point. If you actually had a medical need for it, you would have went to the doctor. The doctor would have said you had a medical need for it and you would have had it here before me. But you don't. And
I had until the 15th of next month.
I didn't give you the 15th of next month. That should have been here for this hearing. Again, it tells me you don't have a need for it because you're not supposed to be using it right now.
Your Honor, just because I want Mr. Stewart to understand the expectations perfectly clear. Are you asking for physical paper documentation from a physician vis-a-vis an email or something like that, or a
I'm
scan?
wanting a physician to tell me what his condition is and the reason that it's being treated with marijuana.
Okay.
And you should know that I'm familiar with a lot of the treatments that there are for marijuana. One of the reasons is my wife is a pharmacist and did an actual study on it. But the reality is I've been told over and over that he has this need and I still haven't seen it yet. And that means either he's using without court authority. And if that's the case, that's a bigger problem. Or he doesn't have a need. So
Tell me, means tell the court, not
Would
just.
the MD that gave me my medical license be good enough? Could I possibly?
Ask the judge.
So where is the, what's the status of the drug and alcohol evaluation?
It has not been completed.
Has it been started?
No, I still need to talk to my counselor and schedule that.
All right. So I'm gonna do the following. You need, who are you at? Where are you at? Who's the counselor?
I go to Greater Lakes Mental Care and they'd be able to assist me with that.
Where's Greater Lakes?
It's in Lakewood.
I'm going to set this only for 2 weeks because I want to see where he is in 2 weeks. I want the evaluations initiated or something explaining that they're started or why they haven't started. Before you go today, there are some people in the back of the courtroom right over here. I strongly recommend you talk to before you leave today. And today is the trying to look at the right calendar.
February 1st.
Do it at 10 a.m. Make all court appearances, notify of any address change, have no law violations, no alcohol or drugs during the pendency of this action. You need to get on for the other case, which you're under an SOC, which means that the SOC can easily be revoked, and that goes on your record. That means now you have a record that includes a domestic violence conviction, and I don't know if you want to head down that path because then you'll have a second DV that we're dealing with this time, and that one won't be an SOC. All right, so I will see you at the next hearing. There is a no contact order that has been entered that preventing you from having any contact whatsoever with Daniel Joseph Buell. You can't have in person. You can't have third-party contact. You can't keep them under surveillance. You can't come within 1,000 feet of the person's residence or workplace. You understand those conditions?
We might need an SOC, civil standby. Do you need to get anything out of there?
My mother can bring me my belongings if need be.
Well, I thought you and your mom, was your mom's no contact
The
order
no
lifted?
contact order was.
The no contact order, is that Ms. Dover?
I guess
It's-
he's saying it's been lifted, so.
It's not lifted, it's a no hostile
I said-
contact order.
Okay.
So you can have contact with her, just can't have hostile contact with her. All right?
Okay, I guess we don't need the standby.
All right, so I am signing the conditions of release. And again, the no contract order has already been entered and it remains in effect. All right, please. That's Renata and Tony are in the back. They're going to want to talk to you. And again, it's a strong recommendation from the court.
Okay, actually, these folks, the gentleman with in the blue shirt, if you turn around, he's a mental health professional. He'll be probably better equipped to give you a more technical answer than I can. Yeah.
That's why these people are here.
He truly is a certified mental health counselor.
Your Honor, if it helps the defendant understand it all, the city stated they would be asking for a vacation. You talked about jail time. All of that changes from the city's standpoint if he works with those people in the back of the courtroom.
Yep. He's with them right now. All right, so the other person who was here early, and that means he's on time, was Mr. Monago. You guys are ready to take Mr. Monago. We're here.
Okay.
Ordered issue, warrant ordered. Unless there's a disagreement, I'll quash the warrant.
No objection to question the warrant, Your Honor.
Quash the warrant. And you need time to talk to him, or actually, he's not.
He's
your
pro
client.
se.
He's pro se.
It-
Mr. Monago, what's the status of getting your license back right now?
Yeah, so the status of getting my license back is pretty much just this court case. That's it.
So, Your Honor, I checked his license.
If there's anything in this court that is holding it up, we're going to adjudicate that. Do we have anything holding it up here?
There's 2 cases in another 2 jurisdictions, and the total comes to under $600 of fines that he owes, so he can get on a payment plan on those.
Jurisdictions.
So the other jurisdictions are Snohomish, Evergreen Division, and King County.
All right, so you have 2 things, because it won't be us holding you up, Mr. Monago. It's King County and Evergreen District Court. So you need to figure out what it is there. I would like to, my preference is you get your license back, because I don't want to see your license held up. I'm one of those people that wants you to get back on your feet and not have to come see us anymore. So I want you to those 2 courts, right? So if you're willing to waive your right to a speedy trial, I'll set this out 60 days so you can do that. But I can't miss any more hearings.
No, that makes sense. I didn't know I had any more tickets. I was under the impression I paid them all when the last time the last hearing. So I didn't even know I had any more tickets. I just spent a lot of money on paying them off. So
Arrangements up there to get those done. Okay. King
Okay.
County, which I know will work with you, get payments. I don't know, Evergreen sometimes a little bit tougher. Okay. So do you want to right to a speedy trial and take 60 days to get everything in order?
Yeah, that works.
All right. And so what I don't want you to do is miss any more dates with this court. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to have to quash any more warrants. I'd rather you come face it straight on and let's get this thing going.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
All right. What is 60 days from now that would be the March 15th. We're going to set this for March 15th. It's going to be at 10 o'clock a.m.
Yeah.
And that's both cases.
Okay.
Has your address changed since you've last communicated with us?
Nope, not yet, but
Yeah, let's be the first ones you tell, all right?
yeah. Yeah, it will be changing soon, but probably not by March, maybe like a little month after.
All right, so we will see you on March 15th at 10 a.m.
Yep. Okay, perfect.
All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
It looks like I have a couple others. Which calendar?
Tyler Boyd is the first one at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm here on a 9:30 infraction, Your Honor.
And I think, have you worked out something with the prosecutor yet?
No, Your Honor, this is a request for a continuance. Part of the infraction is a no insurance charge, and we're trying to get insurance documentation from our client.
I'm gonna send you something in the chat, just so you know what I'm looking at for the other charge.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Which case is this?
It's Bradley Good, G-O-O-D, cause number 180729011.
It's at 9:30.
All right, I have it. So
It's speeding.
objection, Madam Prosecutor, to continuance?
No objection, Your Honor, sorry.
Looking at,
Haven't had my coffee yet.
counsel,
I'm sorry?
date are we looking at to continue to?
I'm fine with the ordinary course, Your Honor. It shouldn't take that long for us to get insurance paperwork from our client.
Would you want to do it on the next court date, which is the February 1?
February 1 should work fine. Thank you.
All right, so we'll set this for 9/1. Or 2/1. Jeez, I need my coffee.
Matt, we need coffee.
All right. And I've received the city's offer here, so I'll communicate that to our client, and hopefully we can resolve by paperwork before the next hearing.
That's what I was just gonna say. So if we get that done, the court does those on the record, so you wouldn't have to appear, but I could do it on the record.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you, Madam.
Take care. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Boyd on the 10 o'clock, and I think he's the only other person here.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Boyd. It says you missed your last meeting. Why was that?
Hey, that you guys had tried to schedule a Zoom meeting while I was currently incarcerated in Pierce County, but they had refused to do it. So I'd just like to note that that wasn't my fault that I missed it.
I'll quash the warrant. Let's see, what's the status of your driver's license?
It's now suspended in the second degree, so it's gotten a little bit worse.
Are you currently employed, Mr. Boyd?
Your Honor, I'm not.
All right, so I'm going to direct appoint Mr. Resnick to represent you. Mr. Resnick, what would you like to do today?
Set it out 30 days.
Okay. Any
And
objection?
Your Honor,
Peter?
no objection, and the city's looking at either just a straight conviction on this because of his license situation, or if he wants to maybe enter an SOC to clear it up.
All right. So
I got a question. What's the SOC?
it'll be set for, this is, so we'll set it for February 15th. And Mr. Resnick now represents you, Mr. Boyd, so he can hopefully get good ideas. Do you need a phone number from him, Matt?
Yeah, sure. hang on.
What's your phone number, Mr. Boyd?
253
Go ahead.
954
Okay,
2226.
okay. All right, thank you.
They will be calling you to get some information, all right?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you at 10 o'clock on the 15th.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
And Mr. Attorney Kelsey is here. Who are you? Kelsey, Kelsey, who are you here for?
It's here for Mr. Nunnally, I believe.
Your Honor, I'm here for Mr. Nordyke.
Nordyke, sorry, I knew it was an N.
All right, and what is?
The case that won't go away.
What calendar is that on?
That's at the 9:30. I'm not sure if he's on yet, Your Honor.
I
Yeah,
don't see him.
I don't see him on yet.
Mhm.
right.
Attorney Sue just signed in.
Is this the trial we have set?
I think it was.
And that would be on the next Thursday, right?
Where it's a plea, or an SOC, so
What's that?
it's gonna be an SOC.
Oh, is this the trial we have set though?
I think so. I'm trying to pull it up.
Are we still talking about Mr. Nordyke?
Yes.
Yes, that it's set for trial, and today's we're asking to enter into an SOC.
All right, so I'm just wanting to make sure it's the right one because that's the one we're collecting jurors on right now. I just want to make sure if that's the same one that's on next Thursday.
Yes,
Okay.
so we
This-
can stop collecting.
Mr. Attorney Philip Sue, who are you here on?
Your Honor, I'm here on the review hearing for Carpenter.
Okay. And is Ms. Carpenter or Latrell Carpenter with you?
No, Your Honor, he hasn't logged in yet, and I told him that I will get him to log in when we're ready to call his case. He's at work right now.
Does he have the community service hours?
It's only-
Yes, I actually emailed that over to Mr. Walls. So, Ms. Lentz, if you could please message me your
Email?
email, I'll send that to you right away.
Okay, and then I don't think we need his client if that's the case, because I believe we're here to terminate the SOC, correct? Has it been a year? Or not terminate, I guess we're amending it, so he would have to be here.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So he would have to be here, right?
I think so, we're amending it and he's getting a conviction, so
Okay. Yeah, I'll have him logged in.
sounds like I think Your Honor would want him here.
Can you have Mr. Carpenter file? Oh, we better say.
Thank you for the email, Matt.
Actually, you probably don't because it's a negligent drive in second degree.
Right, so if I can enter a plea of committed on his behalf.
Yeah, so that's just an infraction.
Okay.
Point.
All right, that works. As soon as I get that proof, I'll take you as an officer of the court that the community service is done. If you want to just forward that to me for my file.
Yeah, it's on its way.
Okay, so Your Honor, if you remember, we did the 5 hours of community service because he picked up a speeding ticket and he wasn't supposed to, so.
So I will take if you have an infraction form.
Then he makes a motion to amend to RCW 46.61.52592 and enter a committed on that.
And for the record, Your Honor, Phillips, on behalf of Mr. Carpenter, was asking Your Honor to waive his presence for the final review on the SOC. We're waiving formal filing of the amended infraction and ask the court to a separate plea of committed.
You got all the information you need, Ms. Lentz?
That is I've got it. Do you want me to file it with the court, Your Honor, or are you?
It's your contract. I don't care if I get it filed as long as you're set.
I'm satisfied.
All right. I have amended the charge from the reckless driving to the negligent second degree. The fine is $150 upon payment. The case is closed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Sue. Have a good day.
Right, you too, Your Honor. Thank you, counsel.
Take care. Like some new people in the courtroom?
There are people. Who are you here on, folks? Mr. Nordyke. Okay, so that is your client, Ms. Alt?
Yes, Your
No.
Honor.
They're in
Oh,
the-
yeah.
So I don't know if you needed to talk to them, and if you do, we can get them to go online on their phone.
No, I have already spoken to my client this morning, Your Honor.
Right, we have the SOC to us by chance.
Did you email in the SOC? Kelsey?
Did I email the court, the SOC? No, I thought you might
Okay.
want your signature.
If you could send
Right.
it to Julie, our clerk, Karen, then it'd be awesome.
Okay.
And then I'll have, while you're doing that, I'll have Ms. Alt go ahead and do her colloquy.
Okay.
And Your Honor, sorry, I'm just multitasking here. I'm just making sure that I am pulling up the most recent SOC. Your Honor, I did go through that paperwork with my client. He does understand that this is essentially a contract between him and the city, that as long as he abides by the contract, he will get the benefit at the end of the dismissal. He understands what would occur if he were to violate the contract, that essentially the court would hold a hearing to determine if there was a violation and could find him guilty via reading the police report. He understands the maximum that he is facing if he were convicted of the underlying offense of assault in fourth degree. He understands there would be firearm restrictions. He also understands all of the trial rights he's waiving by entering into this agreement. I believe he's entering into this freely, knowingly, and voluntarily.
Thank you. And what are we doing with the DVPO in this? It remains?
I'm
Is
sorry,
it-
but
Is it at a no harassing contact or is it a no contact?
no, it should be a no hostile.
Hold on, let me look. Because I have the no conduct, but I don't know if I wrote something else in the order.
Oh, you're doing an SOC. Never mind.
Not showing as a no contact order on jobs.
What's that? Okay, so it was apparently recalled in 9/21.
And I just want to make sure, I just sent the signed off SOC form, and it looks like the one that Ms. Lentz, I did send you a different SOC this morning that had a little bit added
did that.
language.
I thought this one had it. Let me see.
I just added a more specificity, so I did email that. You'll see it. You're on the email. I just sent that. So I just want to make sure
I thought that's the one
that-
that was sent. It says after entry, the conditions of restricting the firearm shall be lifted.
Yes, and then I specifically wrote, he may obtain his property that's surrendered, including firearms and concealed weapons permit.
Okay, I believe that was on the one I just emailed in.
I don't, I think that that second sentence was not on that one. Right, yeah, the one that I just sent is the one that we were intending. It's the PDF version.
Okay. So funny because when it comes up on the PDF, it looks a lot better to read on the computer. I find that odd.
Well, my staff had to change the formatting. I guess the Word one had some issues.
It did. What happens when you use a document over and forward it to people? Okay, I see how that cleaned up.
There, has the new one been sent over, Ms. Lentz?
Yeah, so that's coming from Kelsey and it's in a PDF format. So if Kelly looks or Kim looks at the document, it's coming over in Adobe PDF. And so the last paragraph with the checkbox says on that one, after entry into the SOC, the condition restricting possession of firearms shall be lifted. The defendant may obtain his property that was surrendered to police, including firearms and concealed weapons permit.
All right, so I note that this one's the one you haven't signed, is that correct?
Yeah, it's got my name typed on it. If you want me to, I can go in Adobe and have it, or I would be fine if your honor wanted to just put a little X on there for my signature.
That's the other one. So I'll just put the approved via Zoom.
Perfect.
All right. And you are Mr. Nordyke? Yes. And you heard what your attorney just said? And you understand this is a contract between you and the city? That means if you violate the contract, the city comes and says you violated the contract, and I make, more likely than not, I'm going to make a finding of guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that? Is this the way you wish to proceed? All right. So what that means is that it's all in your hands from here on out. So if there are any failures, it's up to you. I don't want to hear any failures. Okay? I have signed off on the stipulated order of continuance. And so I will tell both of you, is this your wife? All right, I'm going to tell both of you, there's somebody who has a lot of experience with domestic violence in the courtroom in the back. So in order for you to make sure that this goes through, you might want to talk to her to see if there's any resources you both can get. Okay. And Miss Alt, who I'm talking about, is Recovery Cafe, is in our courtroom. And so if they need any resources, good person to talk to.
And
right.
Thank you, Aaron. And I just had one housekeeping matter. I want to make sure that the court order reflects that the pretrial condition of release regarding no possession of firearms is terminated so that he can take that court order to obtain his property.
Is that on here?
That was part of the agreement, Your Honor.
What's that?
It's in that last paragraph on the SOC.
I will order that the condition restricting possession of firearms be lifted, and he may obtain his property surrendered to the police. So we'll probably need to put that in the court order. I'll have my clerk put it in the court order, and if she can hear me, and I'll sign that order.
And Your Honor, so the court is comfortable with that. He did take a firearm safety class before we entered the SOC to make sure that was done. And we also had him take a chemical dependency evaluation, and he completed that treatment.
And I'm assuming you used good judgment when you entered this. I'm going to have, since he's in the courtroom though, Ms. Alt, if it's fine with you, I'm going to have him sign this.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'll have my administrator have him sign it. The bail is exonerated. I'm assuming you're asking for that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So after signing that, Mr. Ortek, good luck to you. It's in your hands. You're free to go. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is it possible to place myself and attorney Andrew C. into a chat room, Andrew Huff?
Mr. Huff, and that Mr. Devon will be able to do that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That is everyone.
Not a good,
We already did Mr. Carpenter?
yes.
Oh, okay. Mr. Smith couldn't give us 2 weeks. He's in jail in California. What the? You remember California, but he wasn't there when he was in Spokane. I did look that day, by the way. Spokane was cloudy. That was beautiful skies. I wanted to go there, wherever it was. Yes. That would be a police thing. It's no longer in our, it's no longer us. Well, we have, I'm assuming the next group will show up at 10 because we have no one.
Yeah.
Well, there's not really anything we can do about Mr. Priest. He's in arrest. We'll wait till something comes before us.
Who are we talking about?
Mr. Priest got arrested in
Oh, no,
California.
he's in Cali. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the official line is I have had no contact with him.
He's in Victorville. Sister was stationed there in the Air Force. All right.
I assume he hasn't disposed his cases in Pierce County either.
I don't know. Right now, he's off my calendar, so.
Yeah.
So, and then Rachel is
Still in treatment. That's all I know. I
and
have no
I understand
progress.
the good news is she's still in treatment.
Treatment, what she's
Do we
doing.
know how long?
Yeah,
So,
I have
so
no idea what.
if you don't mind on that one, Matt, we're going to try to see if we can get.
Oh, yeah,
Recovery Cafe
absolutely. Yeah,
To
yeah,
talk
yeah.
to her before she gets out.
Yep, I got another
And-
person that I may actually refer over there, but yeah.
Okay, that'd be awesome because if we can head her off at the pass essentially.
Let me tell her right now. So.
And by the way, Kim has contacted them to find some stuff out.
Not that. I
No.
contacted the treatment.
Treatment. So,
Oh, not them. Okay.
and who was the other one?
Yeah,
Yeah, no. Nobody can help. Yeah, we just keep setting them and keep FTA him. I'm sorry, we just have to keep doing it. Yeah, we can set them because it's a violation, right? Oh, he is set for. Did we get him a notice that there's a hearing today? And today is the 18th. We're gonna FTA him and reset it for 30 days. I didn't know he's on because I didn't see him. Is he on here on?
I didn't reprint it on Friday. I was just.
So we'll note FTA reset for 30. Well, I don't even, yeah, we'll note FTA and reset for 30 days. No, Rachel is the one that shaved her head.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, that'll kill you. Apparently, Mr. Smith was set for today's for noting the FTA and resetting.
Yeah.
That's the reason I have this Victorville portal minute.
I saw that. Yeah. Okay.
County of San Bernardino.
You know, really, there's not that much there, but I mean, what was he doing? Stealing lettuce? I mean, honestly, I mean, there's not much out there. Yeah.
It's a, yeah, possession of firearms.
No, I know what it is. I was just making a joke. Yeah, I know. Yeah. it's
Prohibited person. Oh, God.
Addict slash felon. Yes, that's how they.
Oh,
write
yeah,
it up.
yeah.
Well, which is one of the things he's got pending over here in Tacoma too.
Well, when I told him I really didn't want to see him again, I didn't mean I want him put in jail in California. It's not what I meant.
He's got such, I mean, I have to assume California has a similar scoring matrix to what we have in the SRA, you know, obviously maybe different weight, but he's got enough of a developed CV that, you know, I don't see him getting out anytime soon, even under their system of leniency. I just don't see it.
So I am surprised at the slowness of people coming into court today. We have.
I was gonna say the roads have even been vacant in the last week or so. My kids and I are driving at rush hour going, where is everybody?
We have.
So I'm just waiting on an email and we can take the Brandon John Reed case. It's a 9:30 contested insurance. He got it after the fact. He's forwarding it to me so I can forward it to the court if you want it. And then he just needs to mitigate that.
What's the name?
Reed, Brandon John Reed, 1A06399243.
So
1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth one maybe on 9:30.
Mr. Huff is just mitigating.
Yeah, he got the insurance after the fact.
Oh, okay. Let me see what's his record.
He's good, no prior insurance tickets. Yeah, really short record, maybe just a couple speeding tickets. Oh, there's a, yeah. The only commission on here is a tabs from 2019.
Mr. Huff?
Your Honor, good morning. Andrew Huff, Mr. Brandon Reed.
So I looked at his record and the only conviction he appears to have is an expired tabs. My mitigation today is I'd probably go ahead because of that, is I would amend it to negligent driving and set the fine at 150. Not negligent driving, sorry. Negligent nuisance.
Made me nervous there for a second.
Driving 1, and we only give him a year. Okay. So,
Or we could go to reckless homicide, you know, you want.
150, which means, of course, it's not an RCW offense.
Yeah, that would be
People
agreeable.
without insurance, so I think it totally fits that.
Yeah, yeah, seriously.
So I'm putting it nuisance amended from the no insurance.
And then what was the fine on that again, Your Honor?
150.
Okay,
On payment, we'll close the case.
perfect.
Contact the court and get that arranged pretty quickly.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that. And Ms. Lenz, I just emailed you the proof of insurance.
And I just forwarded that to Kim, so you have the insurance for your file, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, I think that's about it for this matter.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You as well. Take care. Thank you, Ms. Lenz.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right. So that is.
Knock that up to a -1.
Yes.
I'm like, I win.
And nuisance, they're all the same. All right. So 2 on the 9:30 didn't show up and a bunch on the, did we get any arraignments today?
1.
Stewart. Oh,
That was the important one. It was the domestic violence one, so it worked out okay.
so on Mr. Smith, he obviously isn't here.
Yeah, so we're gonna ask for more, Your Honor. I found out that he went to California 4 days after we entered the SOC and he cried in court and said he was changing his ways and he got picked up on a felony. And when I called and talked to the jailers, they said normally it's a $50,000 bond, but he was at 180. So it's a felony in possession of a weapon, a felon in possession of a weapon. He must have done something else with it. I tried to go back in and check the records, but I think because I'm not licensed there, they booted me out of the system.
So he's held right in there at what?
San Bernardino County was holding him at $180,000.
I'm assuming he's not going to get out on that really quick.
I don't think so. And they also had him in isolation. I don't know if it was for behavior issues or COVID.
Does Pierce County also have a warrant out for him?
They do. They miss him as well.
Yeah, somehow I don't think custody and his disso is his most pressing issue right now.
It's not, but maybe if we just put a warrant out and that way we will remember at some point when we pick him up that we should get rid of the SOC and turn it into something else.
5,000 cash or bond.
Thank you.
And I suspect that it'll be the last one served.
4 years?
Was that? All right, so it looks like we have nobody here. So we'll take recess until we get somebody here.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. They're hanging around in the hall. And if they are somebody, Miss Linson, you need to talk to, then I'll let you talk to them.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Oops, there it is.
The people who are entering the courtroom represented or,
Pre-trial,
okay, are they yours?
waiting a competency eval.
Which one is that? I don't think I wrote that down in my notes.
Which name? Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Come on up here and talk to me. What's going on with your, have a seat. What's going on with your kid, with getting your license back? When, I don't know anything about when you're getting it back or what's going on.
I don't know yet. I gotta get interlock thing before I can do anything.
Okay. So what the prosecutor is thinking about is having you talk to those two people back there, set up an evaluation for drugs and alcohol to see what's going on. Okay. And then we can figure out what they want to do, or they can do 6 months on the domestic, 24 on the driving while, all this other stuff. Basically, plead guilty to everything except one of the driving while suspended seconds on an infraction with just fines. But I'm thinking let's just get you evaluated with a waiver first, you know what I'm saying? See what happens. So let's just do that. Does that sound like a plan? All right. Hang on, let's write your stuff down here. So. You don't have a relative who's a physician in Schenectady, New York, who breeds racehorses? No, okay, same last name. All right. I can't remember his first name. He's very old. He's retired, but he's big in freaking horse race breeding. Yeah. Same last name.
No, I don't know.
They have a racetrack there called Saratoga Springs, and that's where he works out of. Yeah, all my well-heeled relatives don't acknowledge me. Yeah, you're having a bad luck streak in dancing school here, huh? All right. I'll set this out with a speedy trial waiver, 3 months.
Your Honor, we could call Mr. Keller's case with Attorney Fisher.
I couldn't hear that, counsel.
Mr. Keller with Attorney Fisher.
All right. Let's see.
So that's Aaron Hunter Keller 1A026 2964443 and 44. She's asking for a continuance to discuss the offer further. I have no objection.
Good morning, Your Honor. Nicole Fisher for the record on behalf of Aaron Keller, who is also present via Zoom. That is correct. I have been in communication with the city on this case, and we have an offer I need to discuss further with Mr. Keller. So we are requesting a continuance just in due course today.
All right. And for what date do you want to?
30 days should be fine.
On February 15th?
Yes, Your Honor, that works.
All right. So we'll set it for 2/15/2022 at 10 o'clock a.m.
And can we get a speedy trial waiver to commence on that date?
Yes, and I have discussed Mr. Keller's right to speedy trial, and he's willing to waive that right.
All right. So we'll have the new commencement date then on 2/15.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go.
Mr. Peterson, if you want to drop in the chat who your client is, if you want to talk about it.
Where'd Matt go? No, I'm just wondering if did everybody leave us now that we came out? Hey, sir, not your turn. I've already watched you today come to the courtroom and disrupt the courtroom. You've been trespassed in this building. You're allowed to be here for hearings. You're not allowed to come and harass people. Do you understand me? Sir, do you understand me? If you say another word in this courtroom until I talk to you, I'm going to hold you in contempt and put you in jail today. I want to make sure when I speak to you, you can answer me. Do you understand, sir? That's what I said. Okay, I don't want to hear another word from you out of your mouth today. And all right, Lentz, who's next?
I don't see Mr. Nerlich's client here yet, unless it's Joey iPhone.
He should be actually present in the courtroom.
Okay.
No, Joey's for Philip. I'm
Joey's
Joseph
iPhone
Nunnally.
is Joseph Nunnally.
No,
Yeah, that's me. I'm on Joey's iPhone. Sorry.
What's your name?
Joey's iPhone.
No, what's your name?
Oh, Joseph Nunnally.
All right, thank you.
Are we on the right one?
Yes.
Okay.
And what are we doing with Mr. Nunnally right now?
And Your Honor, good morning. Phil Pierce on behalf of Mr. Nunnally is present on Zoom. No objection to proceeding in this manner. Your Honor, this morning I did email over to the prosecutor a motion or a speedy trial waiver. We're going to be asking for a continuance to March 15th. I also did provide them a copy of a treatment document. Mr. Nunnally has started a 6-month program, so we wanted to briefly address conditions when the court has time. Thank you.
Thank you. And we will, unless there's an objection from the prosecutor, we will go ahead and continue this to 3:15 at 10 a.m.
And Your Honor, the bond conditions he wanted to address, I believe, was at the Scram. He is in treatment now. He is getting random UAs at treatment, so the city has no objection to removal from the Scram.
And I also did, Your Honor, email that document into the court yesterday. I know the court wasn't open yesterday due to the holiday, so I wouldn't expect that you would have seen it by now, but he has already engaged in treatment with Sound
Integrated Health.
Sound Integrated Health in Tacoma. And so as everything that the city has said is correct, so we'd ask the court remove him from Scram. He's also been on it for several months now and has been doing very well.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Nunnally, we're going to reset this hearing to 3:15 at 10 o'clock a.m. And apparently you've done some pretty good work so far. I'm glad you have. So I will remove the scram at this point, and you know, it won't go back on unless you give me a reason to do so. Okay, sir?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Council. And I did wait, the new commencement date is 3/15, council.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You.
Just trying to verify if Mr. Narlich's client is present in the courtroom. It's hard for us to identify people. They're so far away.
Yeah, apologies. I also can't see. Your Honor, would you be willing to inquire as to whether or not Mr. Jerome is present in the court?
Mr. Stacy Jerome, I do not see him.
Okay. Mr. Rusnick, did you have a case you're ready to call?
Mr. Conroy, please come forward.
Turner, if you could repeat that name, I couldn't hear it.
Mr. Conroy, please come forward. You have to make a motion to the court because I appointed your attorney. Did you sit down, please? All right. Did you motion the court? Mr. Conroy. First thing you have to realize is the reason you have an attorney, because all the information you're providing is inappropriate at this level. Sir, it's sir. Okay. But what does that have to do with the trespass charge that you're here for? That's not why you were arrested, sir. Sir, that was not why you were arrested. Because you were told to leave the building and you refused to leave. Sir. That is what the reason you're here for. One reason only. Okay. You told me you have an attorney. I don't have an attorney, but you're going to get an attorney. You don't have the opportunity. You're getting to frustrate me because you're not listening. You're wanting to talk and you want everybody to hear everything you have to say, whether it's relevant or irrelevant, whether it's important or not important. Frankly, what you're saying is irrelevant and it's not important. What's important right now is for you to get out of here without any further charges, because I don't like people going to jail. I don't like people being charged. That's the worst thing in the world, because you know what it does to families? It destroys them. And I do not want to destroy a family. What I need you to do, though, is some listening and some active listening. It means you sit there and you listen to what we're saying. I want this to be as easy as possible for you. You're not allowed to come to this building. The reason being is because you harassed everyone in this building. That's why they arrested you. That's it. I don't want to hear about the thousands of criminal charges that you have against. Sir, I asked you not to say another word until I asked you to speak, did I not? No, you don't. Now, we are here for a pretrial. You do not have an attorney representing you, and you clearly have no idea what you're doing. And it's clear that you don't have the ability to get another attorney. So how do we resolve that specific issue? If no, let me finish my question before you say it. Okay. All right. So apparently you don't want to listen. Did you want to go to jail right now? All right. Officer, you have my permission. The next time he says a word, when I don't ask that question, to arrest him and take him to the jail until he wants to come out here, be quiet, and apologize to the court. He is that close today. In fact, I want to make sure, why don't you stand up here for me, officer? So in case he does, I want him taken out today, because I do not want this to escalate. Right there is good. Thank you. Now, sir, I'm going to ask you a question, and please wait till I'm done talking before you say a word. If you can't get another attorney, how are you going to represent yourself? Now you may answer the question. No, I don't, sir, because I'm the judge. All I have to do is listen to what the charges are. Look, all right, my question is, you told me earlier, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll allow that. You said you obviously don't know what you're doing and all these legal things. Did you not tell me that? You know the procedures in court? Who can't give legal advice? Attorneys can. Let me explain it to you. A lot of the things that may be happening and the reason your family's suffering is because you're not helping it. I'm not talking about insurance. I'm talking about these legal proceedings. I do not want you in jail. I do not want you around this building because these people here are trying to simply do a job. That's all they're trying to do is their job. All we're trying to do their job, and you come in here and you inflame the situation. That's not a way of handling things. Why do you have to inflame the situation? It sounded like a question. Okay. Again, that's where you're getting way up the path. Hold on. That's why we're getting way off path because that has nothing to do with your case here today. Your case here today is one thing, criminal trespass in the second degree. That is your only case that you have here. That's it, nothing else. I have an attorney right there that is a very competent attorney, is very able to help in this specific case. He can't help you with all the other stuff you're talking about. He can help you with this specific case. This specific case being criminal trespass in the second degree. That's all this is. We want to talk about things that do not relate. He doesn't, because that's not his job. One job, criminal trespass the second degree. Did you do it or didn't you do it? Okay. He can show me that. You can't. No, he hasn't done anything yet. Why? Because he hasn't had the opportunity yet. You have to do some listening to other people. You can't assume that you're always right. I wish I were always right, but I'm told often that I'm not. I'm not. And I have to accept it. You have to accept it as well. Right now, until you get another, I am not forcing him on you. So let me ask. So you think that it's helpful that you come in here and disparage somebody in a public forum? It's true because you read about it on the internet. You have no idea. Oh. All right, and so my ruling is, and Mr. Rusnick, are you ready to proceed today?
His mic isn't on. We can't hear him.
Left me a very long phone message, which I have saved, replete with ad hominem slurs and vulgar, profane language, which I wouldn't even play if the court asked me to on the record.
Remember, you're not to talk.
Which I wouldn't even.
I will give you a chance to respond. but you're not to talk until I ask you a question.
Which I finished. Which I would not even play in court if he gave me permission to, because I'd probably subject myself to contempt, given the choice of language Mr. Conroy used. But the point being the same. I do think that the attorney-client relationship is so severely degraded, effective representation would be impossible.
And Mr.
Not
Rusnak- and Ms.
because
and
of
Ms.
anything.
Lentz, hold on, Miss Lentz.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have somebody that he can't find another attorney and he doesn't want the public defender. What is the city's position on that?
Does the city have conflict counsel that can be appointed? I'm willing to, if he's representing himself, I'm willing to sit down with him one time and negotiate with him to see if he wants to come to resolution. I can't do that right now. We would have to do it on a separate meeting if he wants to have that conversation with me. Otherwise, if he wants to go to trial.
All right, I'm going to set this over for 2 weeks. Mr. Conroy, in that 2-week period of time, you are going to find an attorney. Mr. Resnick, at that point, we'll talk about your getting out of the case, and this is 2 weeks. And it's an excluded period because he's going to try to find an attorney. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to find one, sir. Somebody other than Mr. Resnick, somebody that's not the bottom of the barrel, somebody that meets your standards. Go out there and find one. I don't want you talking about a grassroots effort. I don't want to talk about reading Black's Law Dictionary. Black's Law Dictionary has nothing to do with what's going on today. I need you to find an attorney that can competently represent you, because the last thing I want you to do is go to court in front of a jury and have that jury convict you because you didn't know what you were doing. Not because of the facts of the case, because you didn't know what you were doing. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tony, are you willing to talk to Mr. Conroy today? Sure. All right. On the way out, can you talk to Tony? You don't have to. That's
Yep.
Tony.
No, I haven't already happened.
Yeah, and it would have to be off the premises because he's only allowed to be on the premises for court purposes. And on the way out, please do not harass any of the employees, including the officers. All right, so we're setting this for 2 weeks. And you're gonna have an attorney then. Mr. Resnick is appointed then because, again, I don't want you doing something that's inappropriate to get this case worse, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. You and I could actually have a good, decent conversation if you'd listen to me, and I'll try listening to you.
Can we deliberate sometime?
No,
Okay. Well,
no, I'm not a deliberator.
No, I didn't get to respond to that question.
Okay,
Now,
and I
may
agree, I agree, both of you have your.
May I respond to what he said, though, like when you told me?
It means nothing to
But
me.
he's
Sir,
refusing to show you evidence of a claim against me. If
Okay.
he can show that evidence, then that's
He's
fine.
not making a claim against you.
Well, he said that I left this message of.
Well, what he's trying to
vulgar-
give me a reason to take him off the case. That's
Well, I
what
mean,
he's
like,
trying.
what if-
And
what
by
if
the
I-
way, Mr. Conroy, in that regard, both of you want the same exact thing. Okay? So both of you want, he has his reason that he doesn't want to be on it. You have your reasons you don't want him on it. I get that. But what I don't get is why you would want to come into a court with a proceeding that you've never been through before and try to represent yourself, because frankly, as an attorney, I wouldn't want to represent myself in court. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. So today, we're setting this over for 2 weeks, and that is on the 1st of February, and it's going to be at 10 o'clock. And we will see you then. And if you have a new attorney, they'll put their notice of appearance in, and he will do a substitution of counsel right away.
And I get to talk to her, right? That was a wonderful moment that she was willing to talk to me.
After 2 weeks, you can if you don't have.
Oh,
an-
I thought she was going to
No,
talk about
because
a resolution.
Mr. Rusnick is your attorney right now.
Oh, so you shot her down, so I can't let her know about the corruption.
I would never shut the
Okay.
prosecutor down. Ms. Lentz, did I shut you down?
I would like.
Absolutely, absolutely not, Your Honor. And I was gonna say that if he wants to talk to Tony and he's on board with Tony and Tony's program and Tony can help him out with some things, it's gonna change the way I look at the case in his favor, so. And if you work with Matt Rusnick and you work with Tony and you come in and you guys are all communicating really well together, it's gonna change my mind about a few things.
Thank you.
So do your best, please.
I'm trying to assure Mr. Conroy, we don't have any interest in putting you in jail. Ma'am, please sit in the back.
I don't know.
Ma'am, sit in the back.
Sit down.
Easy talking to her like that. Okay.
Hey, pay attention to the judge, not me.
All right. Please leave before I do throw you in jail, and not a word when you go out of the building, except you may talk to Tony on the way out. Thank you. Kevin, wait, before you go, she's gonna have you sign this. Let me see what it is first.
Your Honor, I just want to say thank you. And then the next case, I have one available as a pro se unless Mr. Rusnick has something else to do.
Who's the next one, Ms. Lentz?
Mr. Havoc is online. He's got a D3 and he needs time to get that taken care of. He's looking at 4 weeks and he's already discussed with him in the chat about waiving his right to a speedy trial, and that's what he wants to do.
All right, Mr. Habrick, did you understand all that?
Yes.
And so if I gave you a date of February 15th, would that be, you think, sufficient to do something about that?
Yep. Yes.
And you understand you have a right to a speedy trial within 90 days. And I'm going to make the new start date for that 90 days on February 15th. And is that what you wish to do?
Yes, I do.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue this.
Okay.
That date. That's David Havoc.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I do see Stacy Jerome in court. I don't know if his attorney's still online.
I believe.
He is. He is.
Jerome. Oh, there you are, sir. Sorry, no, you have a mask on. I didn't recognize you. Mr. I think it's Nerelich is here, so we can take your case in a minute.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. As soon as we get this one case, I'm going to call yours, Mr. Nerelich.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So glad Tony was here today.
I'm not sure he is.
I know, right? God bless him.
We said 2:15, right, Mr. Havoc?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, it was more than 5 minutes. I forgot. So we'll see you on 2:15 at 10 o'clock a.m., sir. Good day.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, we'll get this order out to you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Stacy.
Stacy Jerome, Your Honor.
I knew that. What's your two first names? All right, Mr. Narrow, Stacy Jerome is here. And what are we doing with this matter?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have touched base with Ms. Lentz. An offer has been extended and discussed with Mr. Jerome. We're just kind of trying to get our ducks in a row. So this is a defense motion for a continuance. 30 to 45 days is out, Your Honor, so we can kind of get organized and come back and hopefully dispo.
30 or 45?
I can go 45.
All right, so then we would go to, so 30 is the pivot, so the March 1st?
That works for me, Your Honor.
All right, and your client is willing to waive his right to a speedy trial to that time period?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jerome, I mean, he's there, but we did discuss it. I believe so.
All right, and you've discussed that with him, Mr. Jerome?
Yes, I am.
All right, and you're willing to do so?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we are going to start the new commencement date is going to be at that hearing. It's on March, I think we said March 1st.
You did, Your Honor.
And so it's March 1st, and that'll be the new commencement date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And with your permission, after I fill this out, I'll have your client sign the order, which basically says the new commencement, the new hearing is 3/1/2022 at 10 a.m. And the defendant waives right to a speedy trial. New commencement date is 3/1/2022 at 10 a.m.
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
And if you want, Mr. Rusnick will look over it really quickly to make sure I didn't make any errors.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that was my only matter. Am I excused, Your Honor?
Yeah, you're excused. Thank you, counsel.
Have a nice day, Your Honor. Thank you.
And so looks like we have
It goes for 90 days from that day. Okay.
Christine.
If you wants to check in the chat, I sent her a message. I don't think she has an attorney that can negotiate her case.
We can do.
Yeah. So Christina Adu, can you hear us? Christina?
Yes, I can. I'm so sorry.
All right. And you said there's a chat to her?
Yeah, I sent you a chat if you can look on the screen and you and I can talk about your case and get it ready while the judge does the next one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Person in court, sir. What's your name?
Austin DeLuca. Your Honor, this is going to be a brief continuance with a waiver.
All right. And if you wanted to talk to Ms. Adu, I can do that if you have no objection. To continue.
Okay.
On DeLuca?
I do not have an objection to that continuance. If you just give me the next court date. He does have, I don't know if he knows, the 4 bench warrants still outstanding. He might want to take care of those.
All right. You hear that? You have 4 bench warrants. You recommend that you take care of those. Okay. So that would help everybody out if you do that. And did you need a breakout room with Ms. Adu or not?
Yeah, I think a breakout room would be great, Your Honor. So Ms. Adu, when you get the notification to leave and go into a meeting, then click on that. We can chat.
Devin's going to send the 2 of you to the room. And
Yes, ma'am.
currently have.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. ADU.
Yes.
What is it? On who? This is good.
Can I get invited too? Here we go.
Doesn't like you.
Oh, come on, Devin.
All right. Mr. DeLuca, have a good day. Get those warrants cleared up. All right.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
It's all good. All good.
Your Honor, I think the volume needs to be turned back on.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Thank you. I talked to Miss Adu, and so the thing that's holding up her driver's license is actually an Orting case that she had an FTA on. She's military, and so that probably has something to do with the FTA. The fines on that case are just under $900. I don't know if the court is willing to mitigate those to help her get her license back.
So first of all, you're saying we're holding up the license here?
Yeah, there's an 11-4-18 speeding and no insurance. It's $809. And that's what the FTA was, which suspended her.
FTA that, when did she FTA that?
Let me check that record. And she is actually licensed elsewhere now.
She's what?
She's licensed legally in another state. Looks like FTR issued 3/2019, sent to collections 9/2019.
Yes, it's here.
Do you need that case number?
It's the last name is Christina.
Her first name's Christina. Oh, you know what? Adu might be her middle name on the docket. Let me check. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's listed as her last name is Christina. So it's Ansnoma Adu Christina. Okay, sorry. You can unmute yourself and talk.
I'm sorry. Yes, Christina is Christina Ansuma Adu.
Okay. So did we get your last name incorrect? Because the docket has your last name as Christina.
That's yes. That's exactly what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
My middle name is Ansuma. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. And so is Adu actually your first name then?
No, it's my last name. Christina is my first name. Ansuma is my middle name.
Okay. So the docket is wrong, Your Honor, in terms of her name. Let me check her DL record. Her driver's license record has it properly, so I don't know if Madam Clerk can fix that in JS.
Also, it's out of this case that we were FTA. Yeah, we already AK'd it, so we should be corrected.
Okay.
So this is out of the same. All right, so what we'll do is make it go so that So what I'm going to do on the two FTA matters, Ms. Adu, I'm going to take them out of FTA status. I'm going to actually mitigate those today. So on the no insurance ticket, I'm going to mitigate that down to $150. And on the what's the speeding is the other one?
19 over.
Yeah, on the speeding, I'll reduce that fine to $150. So the total of your fines is now $300. You can make monthly payments starting in 30 days at $25 a month. And so they're going to be now, they're not going to be holding up your license here. Okay. So with that,
Thank you so much.
Your Lentz, what do we do next?
Your Honor, I'm going to dismiss the D3. She served for our country, and her joyous reaction that you didn't see.
Thank you.
Made it worth it.
So on the, what's the number on that?
On the D3, it's 8Z0999031.
All right, on the city's motion, the case is dismissed with prejudice.
And the warrant is recalled, Your Honor.
Recalled. All right, so I'll let you go and talk about that. So hopefully that's a better day for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So much.
Have a good day. That'll be
Thank
soon.
you for brightening our day in the courtroom. We've had a rough day.
Thank you. Who do I get in touch, like,
To pay
so I
the
could at
fines?
least, yes, ma'am.
Well, if you talk about payments, when we give you the notice, it'll send it to you in the mail.
Okay, perfect.
Or from that, she'll set up a time payment plan for you.
All right.
Do we
thank
have
you
the
so
right
much.
address for her, Your Honor?
And we also have online payments if you go to the city website now.
Okay, okay.
So that's if you want to avoid talking to the friendly clerks and administrators, you go there.
Yes, sir.
I
Thank
just want to
you.
make sure we have the right address for her because she's moved since the ticket.
So what is your address so we can write it down here?
I am in Connecticut. I am at 35 Orchard Street.
35 what street?
Orchard.
Orchard.
O-R-C-H-A-R-D.
Got it.
Got it. Okay.
And what's the city?
East Hartford.
East Hartford, Connecticut. And what's the zip there?
06108.
Okay, we got that. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You too.
It is 10:45 and we still haven't got anyone here. Wow.
Sorry, Your Honor. I put a roadblock up for the city. No one could get into town.
And the computer has a virus.
Is it COVID?
Apparently. That's why nobody wants to get on the computer. I don't want to give a computer a virus. Do we have a in custody or not today?
She's in treatment?
Stacy Kribel, we won't get. They won't.
Matt, I want to hear your beautiful voice. Turn your mic on.
What is Nick? What is she on today?
He's on at 11. She would have been a great person to talk to Recovery Cafe.
Yeah, Nico is some. What's that? Okay, so we'll get Enumclaw is she in Enumclaw? We have, yeah, we have the 11 o'clock calendar hasn't started yet, so. Is she? Okay, she's still in score. So what are we holding Nika on?
So we have 2 D3s, or no, 3 IIDs, a D3, a theft 3, and then the assault 4 DV is the one that's my biggest concern.
Yeah, so how much do we have her in on?
I want to say it was 5,000 or 10. Like, we wanted to keep her. She'd be a great person if Tony wanted to go have a visit with her and give an eval. I have notes in my file that if she's released, that she's not likely to survive.
Neat. Rachel Friend is discharged.
Is she out of treatment?
18 days ago.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. She's already out. All right, so Nico.
Hope she's clean.
Has to get in score today. Yeah, score doesn't usually like to help us out a lot. All right.
Nice that we had our poster children in court calendar today for the program.
My apologies for the outburst in court today, by the way. It's just, I don't know how else to make him listen. So we'll get better at it.
I think treatment would help.
Not so sure. I think there was more ire in the back of the room. So. All right. Karen, what we're going to do is we're going to see what we can do about Rachel, or not, Nika Petrov.
Yeah.
And if we can't get her today, I think we're just gonna have TFTA for 2 weeks and see her in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we'll send that email and we should know in about, probably hopefully about 10 minutes. And so,
Okay,
hey,
I'll just hang out and blank my screen out.
all right. Did you say with ice cream? If you
Ice
said-
cream would be great.
if you said ice cream, I'm coming over.
You know what would be really good is if we had some vanilla ice cream and then I will make espresso and we'll pour that over. Party at my house.
All right, guys. I'm gonna shut us off. I said, hi, Karen. Did you hear me?
Sorry, I switched from this to something, and these were plugging you guys out.
So we tried to get Nika, but the problem with that is they're having a big COVID breakout with the staff at SCORE. So there's no chance that anybody is going to be having any conversations. The problem is we've had Nika in there for how long now?
We're looking at speedy trial issues at this point, right?
I'm not sure what we can do.
Check the docket. I don't want to release her because she's going to become like Miss Friend and out of sobriety into the frying pan.
Well, she won't get out. I mean, I think we can call it an excluded period. It's not her fault either, though, and just reset.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to figure out, though. Hopefully, we're going to be able to work through it in the 2 weeks. Then let's go ahead and call an excluded period, reset this for 2 weeks, and if there's a way to set up a Zoom between now and then between the prosecutor, the public defender, me, and we'll do that as a possibility too.
Okay.
Just wanted to see where you guys can do. And does she actually live in Orting?
Well, here's the thing.
She was from California.
Her
Yeah, she was,
and retrieved her from California because I guess she was having some decompensation issues down there.
So it helped bringing her back, obviously.
so we also have issues. The last time we talked to grandma, which is her mom, the insurance was still from California. So in terms of getting her into treatment, I don't know how we pay for that. She was actually the case that was on my mind when I asked the question about whether Tony could go into jail and do an evaluation.
Rachel was the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, like whoever wants, like, I want her off of drugs and I want her to get a house, right? Or housing. So
if we do something, we will strongly recommend that she talks to Tony at the next, that if she comes back to Orting, the first person she should go see is at the Recovery Cafe.
talk to her like on Zoom in jail. Is there enough staff that you can talk to your own client and maybe encourage her into getting, or even like, I don't even know if Tony can go in and do an evaluation, right? Because if there's not enough staff to let him in.
Not there. If they're in quarantine, there's no way anybody's going to get the score.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in weird times. So it's kind of beyond me. I'm glad that jury trial settled because I think we had 11 jurors.
Well, we need 6.
But at the 2 weeks before, after they sent out their initial, we had 2 jurors.
Oh gosh.
So 11 was really good.
That is, and I picked a jury in Shoreline a month or so ago, and I think we peremptoried up to like 17. So we only used 17 people to pick the jury, which was pretty phenomenal.
And it is hard. The worst we've had is in Auburn, where we had 13 once. And neither the public defender nor the city wanted that to go on, so nobody used any challenges. So the 6 were seated were the ones.
They were great.
That's when Pat had to do all the jury trials because he didn't want to do it.
I did a few in front of you when Pat was handing one. Pat was smart. Anything that was a little bit of a hot potato, he had a pro temp take care of.
Yeah, no, what it is he took all the cases he knew wouldn't go to trial, and he left Liz and I to take care of the ones that would go to trial.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we are at recess because, we have nothing else to do today. So you guys go out and play, enjoy some ice cream. All right, Karen, good seeing you. Next week, I do not want that kind of fun.
Oh, no.
We'll try to change it up on you. I want to keep things active for you.
Tony, I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Ron. I really appreciate you guys being here. That was helpful.
Yes,
this was a
indeed.
good day for me to have you guys here.
Right?
Good day also because there weren't a lot of people in court, so you actually did give each person their due as far as time allotment.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Less
So
excited.
much gratitude for you guys. Thank you. We're lucky.